What is up, everyone? Crunchy Frog here, and today was the massive reveal event for Modern Warfare 3, housed within Warzone on the Al Mazrah map via a big community event, a limited time playlist. They unveiled a new trailer for Modern Warfare 3, and then kind of with that, a big embargo was lifted, and the floodgates kind of opened, so to speak, and just unleashed a bunch of details about this year's Call of Duty, both in terms of, the multiplayer side of things and the other modes as well, and just kind of some general facts and information about the game and the experience that we will be getting this November. So I wanted to put out a video today. This won't be an extensive, exhaustive list of every single thing they unveiled, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on the matter, things that I liked, things I disliked, and ultimately at this point in time, do I see myself buying the game? And just to give you my thoughts and my opinions on it. So if you like this kind of video, if you you like my opinions and stuff like that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for similar content to this. Try to pump out at least one video a week of COD commentaries, breakdowns, stuff like this, and I'll be trying to cover all the latest news for Modern Warfare 3 leading up to its release. So with that out of the way, let's just get right into it. So of course, the event that was kind of held today in Warzone, I was not able to participate. I was at work, and then truth be told, I've just been playing other games since I got home from work and doing other things outside of gaming, so I haven't gotten the chance to get into it, but I did watch a live stream of somebody physically going through the event and playing the event with their friends, and it looked really cool. I want to tip my hat, so to speak, to Infinity Ward and the Warzone crew and everything for kind of shaping a unique experience. I think it was actually in DMZ, more specifically. But anyways, for creating a unique experience, I thought the fact that everybody kind of banded together, they were all on the same team, you were all Shadow Company, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was maybe a little short-lived. I think it was maybe like 19 minutes or something for the group that I was watching, their server, to finish it and get to the trailer portion. Because basically after you finished the event, you completed all the objectives, it would play the brand new single-player trailer and stuff like that. So it was maybe a little short-lived. I don't know what I was expecting even longer than that, but it was a cool little mode. There was a nice cutscene, pretty in-depth, verbose cutscene at that, so I was pretty happy with that. Obviously, again, I might try it out. I think it's live for another 3 or 4 days, basically just over the weekend. And so I might hop in with some friends or by myself to maybe check that out and see it firsthand. But overall, I thought it was a pretty cool reveal event, even though we've already had a bunch revealed about it beforehand. And finally, my last thoughts on that is just I don't think they led up to it very much. I know there was like some stuff coming out, but in terms of the actual event, there wasn't a whole lot. I felt like it. Not that they need to have a big, campaign length, lead up and story delve and everything like that for just a limited time mode that's meant to basically lead to a trailer. But I don't know, maybe a little more fleshed out would have been cool. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention enough. I don't know. I'm not that worried about it. Overall, I still think it was very cool, and I was happy to get all the information today. So moving into the actual game, what was actually discussed and everything, I truly think that there's a lot of good here. But the overarching narrative that I find myself wondering is just how much of it is fan service. And I say that in a negative way. Obviously, these entire games are fan service, but a lot of it's good in a way. Like, they're definitely trying to pull on our nostalgia strings and have been since 2019 when they rebooted it and brought back, old characters and stuff like that. But now, some of the changes that they've made now is almost like, I heard somebody describe it as like the whenever someone's parents get a divorce and like each parent tries to just appeal to the kids so they want to spend more time with them, and they just go like over the top corny stuff like the person that I was listening to on Twitter was saying like the kid comes home from school and the dad bought him a new skateboard, and then on the weekend the mom has like a new Game Boy for him when he gets over, just like stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of the stuff they unveiled was very much so like, come back to us, give us your money, right? And like, you like this stuff, you like red dots on the mini map, right? Come here. And it was just kind of odd. And I don't know if it's just like the cynic in me or the fact that I'm, not aging out of games, but getting more mature and seeing a little deeper into things than I would have when I was maybe in this game's target demographic. but a lot of it just seemed kind of fan servicey, like I said, in a bad way. Like they're just trying to trick us to come back. And especially the fact, and we'll start off with this, I guess, of the amount of things that were added to the game that we've just been asking to be fixed in Modern Warfare 2 for an entire year. Or even as far back as Modern Warfare 2019. Like odd design decisions that they just seem to like want to die on a hill, for lack of a better term, about, and they just refuse to change it, refuse to do anything about it. They were steadfast in their belief. But then suddenly this game came out, and it's like they're pulling out all the stops. Like, okay, listen, we don't have that much content, but we do have red dots on the mini map. Now, all that's not to say that I'm not excited about that. I think that's a great feature, and I think it'll overall bring the game back to much closer to a version of Call of Duty that I and millions of others prefer. I don't know too many people that prefer the new minimap style. So these are objectively good changes. I don't want to, harshen the mellow too bad on that, or tarnish, what they've unveiled by any means. But so much of it, like I said, just seems like fan service, or like, why didn't you do this 9 months ago type of stuff, right? And I think it comes down to that overarching narrative that there's not a whole lot of new content here. So I'll kind of move into that stuff as well. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but again, this is just kind of a thoughts commentary. But, they're like all they've revealed, and to be fair, I was told that there would be more maps, in addition to the Modern Warfare 2 maps. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I think we can still play on the Modern Warfare 2 maps on this, but then we're also getting other maps. Regardless, all they talked about today, and this is not to say that there isn't stuff hiding, under the reeds, so to speak, but was just 16 launch maps from COD Modern Warfare 2, like just remastered versions of the original 2009 multiplayer maps. On its own, that's awesome. But at the same time, if I'm buying a new game, right, you're telling me this isn't an expansion. This isn't a, year 2 update for Modern Warfare 2 or anything like that. This is a standalone, as they keep putting in quotes, a standalone premium experience. As happy as I am to see all those maps, and I will probably cry tears of joy if I end up buying the game and playing on these maps, it doesn't feel like a new experience, right? This could have just been a map pack, where these could have been sprinkled throughout the life cycle of Modern Warfare 2, and probably should have. So while I'm happy to see them coming, and I think that's a massive W for Infinity Ward, well, I guess Sledgehammer at this point, for putting them in the game and getting them remastered and giving us this all 16 too, not even like, best hits, quote unquote. At the same time, like, it doesn't seem like this needed to be a new game to give it to us. And again, that kind of harkens back to the same thing I said about like the mini map, like the red dots on the mini map and map voting and stuff. It's like a car manufacturer taking out the engine or air conditioning, and then 2 model years later, sorry, they're like, buy the brand new Mustang. It has air conditioning in it again. Stuff like that. Like, it should have just been here all along, right? We should have gotten these maps. There was stuff like Afghan and Terminal, which now we're getting like faithful recreations of, not like the Warzone versions. But like, how many times that I mentioned in videos, let alone millions of others on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, mentioned how they wanted High Rise, Afghan, Terminal, maps that were in the game in Warzone to just be brought to multiplayer for us multiplayer fans. And they never did. They never gave us that. Never. And then suddenly now we're getting all these maps, but that's all they've unveiled in terms of core 6v6 maps for the new game. Again, there could be other ones hiding, and it kind of sounds from some of the things I've heard in leaks and pre-release, kind of press content from Call of Duty. It sounds like there might be more, but today all they mentioned was the 16 launch maps. And then obviously some ground war maps, and war is returning, which I think is very cool. It'll be interesting. I want to see more about that before I form an opinion, because war was either super cool or just kind of whenever we had it, at least in my opinion, solely my opinion, but in World War II. So I want to see more info on that before I really give my thoughts on it. But so yeah, again, the multiplayer maps, I'm super psyched for them, but I'm worried that it's not enough to warrant a $70 price tag. Additionally, they did unveil that there is zombies. And my thoughts on this might be a hot take, might be an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people are psyched for this. I could honestly care less. I love zombies. Don't get me wrong. I have loved zombies. Zombies were honestly one of the first things that got me into Call of Duty. I played zombies on World of War at my buddy's house whenever it first came out. Like he beat the campaign. He was like, "Dude, oh my god, you got to see this. There's zombies afterwards, right?" So zombies was one of the first experiences I had with Call of Duty and got me into the series. I ended up buying World at War whenever we got a PC that could run it, stuff like that, like just to play zombies. And so do not mistake this for me hating zombies or not liking them, but just this iteration, I just don't like it. It just feels lazy to me, and especially kind of what they more or less showed or unveiled in the like Twitter storm that happened after the reveal of just like this deluge of information that content creators and influencers and the COD channels themselves were kind of putting out. But it sounds like it's just going to be Outbreak. It's going to be like this love child between Outbreak and DMZ. It was almost like they wanted to bring DMZ back, but they didn't. Like players didn't really like DMZ, so they're like, okay, but what if we kind of like put zombies in there too? And that's it. Like they even said there's a 60-minute hard cap on there, so there's no rounds. It just gets harder the closer you get to the center of the map, which I don't know how that's going to work. But then there's like a 60-minute cap. So you have to like exfil after 60 minutes. And to me, that just takes away so much fun of zombies. Now, I understand if they are just doing this as like a cursory, fun little experience, and then obviously in 2024, when we get Treyarch's next game, that's when the full-fledged round-based, core zombie experience returns. And I can get that, if this is just kind of like a little teaser, a little appetizer, something fun to mix it up. But I could kind of honestly care less. Like, I'll probably play it once or twice if I do get the game, but I'm not looking forward to it. It doesn't, maybe if they unveil a lot more information, it'll hook me, it'll bring me in. But as of right now, I could honestly care less. And that sounds super rude because, again, I love zombies. I want to love zombies. I want to have more zombie content. But just not in this type of iteration. So, again, holding out for more info. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get a lot of info that makes me really excited for it going forward. But as of right now, in this iteration, I just kind of don't really care. Next up, and I haven't touched on this yet, but the campaign from what we saw in the trailer, I am excited for it. I think I loved the campaign of Modern Warfare 2. I think it could have been a little longer, a little more fleshed out. As with every Call of Duty game, I think they have really good kernels of ideas and like a really good skeleton of a plot that I think if they took their time and made it like a 14-hour campaign, it would be awesome. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know 90% of the player base would be pissed off that it's taking too long and they just want to get back to multiplayer and stuff. So I get why they don't make them. They're always like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, like in that time frame. But I just, yeah, I think they need to be more fleshed out. But I did enjoy Modern Warfare 2. So obviously I'm hyped to see how it continues, whether if I buy the game or, just watch it on YouTube or something like that later. I am excited to see it go through. I'm excited to see Makarov back in this iteration of Modern Warfare and see, how the story changes in this reboot or this alternate dimension, whatever you want to call it, this alternate timeline. So I am pretty pumped to see that. Overall, it's not really why you buy a Call of Duty game anymore, but it definitely helps, right? It sets the stage, it sets the mood, sets up the lore, gets you invested in some of the characters in the world and just the setting and stuff like that. So I think it's integral to every Call of Duty, but at the same time, I'm not pacing the floor in in my game room here, just counting down the days until I can play the new campaign type of thing. Now, they did mention that there will be open combat missions, which kind of sound like those Spec Ops missions in Black Ops or whatever they were called in Black Ops 2, where you could kind of like you take control of stuff and it's more open-ended. Now, it'll be interesting to see how they execute this. So I am interested, they've piqued my interest, but at the same time, we'll have to see how they do it because it can either be really good or really poor. Some of the more open-ended missions that they've had in past games have been more stealth oriented, and Call of Duty doesn't always do stealth perfectly. So I think, if they make it open-ended but not always stealth, it's more traditional warfare, but just how you want to handle it as opposed to, well, okay, how can you sneak up behind somebody and try to knife them, stuff like that, and use a silenced pistol the whole time, stuff. So we'll see how that goes, but I think it is cool that they're trying something new, especially with such a short turnaround. I don't know how much time Sledgehammer truly has had to do this. We've been getting conflicting reports ranging from, this was the plan all along to this is a desperate scramble for money. So I'm not too sure. But I like to see that they are trying some new stuff, or at least attempting to. So yeah, we'll kind of see how that pans out as we get more information. And obviously this is the 20th anniversary, so I know they're going to lean into that. They're going to try to pull our heartstrings, our nostalgia strings. And again, I'm just kind of going through the blog post as well, see if I miss anything. But, they talk about, again, how we get all 16 maps and everything like that. So, yeah, and they call them a faithful modernization, by the way. Quote unquote, keep their authenticity while infusing the latest tech, gameplay modes, content, and more. So I'm not sure what that means. Probably just means doors. But, that is what it is. Then they talk about ground war. War mode is returning. And this seems to be the iteration of war from 2017's World War II. So, going to be similar to that. Again, I can't wait to hear more. Trying to see. Oh, yeah. And then basically it just loops back around, like I was saying before, of all the stuff that they brought back. So, stuff like map voting and red dots, and slide canceling, which I can't stand slide canceling. I know the movement demons are just going to hate me in the comment section and tell me I need to adapt and evolve and get better at the game and whatever. I think it's stupid. And I hate when COD is boiled down to how can you exploit the movement system more. So the fact that it's back, I hate it, but I know so many of the vocal portion of the community is just like gonna rub their meat endlessly about it. So I guess good for them. We'll see how it actually works in practice. They also have a couple more movement stuff, like the tack stance thing, where it's like you can kind of aim down sight and fire during certain movement things. That'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that lends out. But I'm not super excited or super disappointed to hear about that. I also know that they're updating Create a Class, moving the perks to like equipment now, and they've reworked some of the perks to kind of be what we've been asking them to do all along. Again, this could have all been a patch for Modern Warfare 2, but instead it's a whole new game. So we'll definitely see what's going on. And that's been pretty much it. The other thing I will mention before I get to kind of my conclusion is the multiplayer health is up to 150 now, which likely is just for balancing reasons. It gives them more of a spectrum to move your values around and make guns feel different from one another. That's probably all it's going to feel like. It might be a little slower. I also know that they brought down headshot multiplayers. Multipliers, not multiplayers. So, I know sometimes in Modern Warfare 2, like if you get a headshot, the dude's just dead. Or likewise, if you get shot in the head, you're just dead out of nowhere. So hopefully that cuts down on some of those, or like lucky shots from flinch and things like that. And then obviously, canceling animations for reloading and stuff is back, which is super cool. But yeah, just so much stuff that they revealed today was just kind of like, or officially confirmed, is just like, yeah, come play our game. We're gonna try absolutely anything to make sure you buy this game, except for give you more content. So overall, what are my thoughts on it? Am I gonna buy it? As of right now, it's looking promising. A lot of the decisions, even though again I think they're like olive branches, or just them trying to placate us, I do think they're good decisions overall. So, with that being said, I still like the direction the game's going. I'm gonna have to see a little bit more. This isn't an instant, pre-order for me. So we'll have to see how it carries out. And as of right now, I'm kind of on the fence. Honestly, I part of me wants to buy the game to obviously make content for you guys, to put out thoughts and opinion pieces, and it'll also depend on if my friends get it. At the end of the day, I play with them often, almost every night. So, I'm going to need to see what they do, and, I might get peer pressured into it regardless. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping a watchful eye on it. Originally, I was like, no, I'm not buying this. Whenever they kind of came out and said that a premium release was coming out, I immediately was just like, no. No, you told me this was a 2-year game. It should be a 2-year game. Let it breathe. Take a rest period, for the developer's sake. So I was originally very against this, but it's shaping up to be pretty good. We'll see if I get it. And, as always, like I said, I will be updating you guys as more stuff is revealed. I'm sure they'll have another kind of cheesy influencer session where 90 of them go and play, and we get a live stream of that. So we'll learn more and more as we near closer to release date. And as always, I'll keep you guys updated. My thoughts on it, do I like it more? Do I like it less? Will I be getting it? And then ultimately, if I do get it on launch, we'll break everything down and, give some reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that, guys, like I said, this has been a little bit of a rant, a little bit unstructured, more unstructured than I usually like to do, but just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Now it's time for you guys to let me know how you feel. Is this a game that you find yourself wanting or that you think you'll get? Did they win you over with today's announcements? Is there anything you dislike or something that you saw today or in the leaks leading up to today that really kind of have turned you off from this game? And definitely let me know, what's your thoughts on them churning out another Modern Warfare game so close after the last one. So other than that, guys, definitely leave a like if you've enjoyed this video and drop a subscribe if you want to see more content like this going forward. So until next time, guys, have a good one.